I worked with Rick when I was 15 years old on Fast Food Nation. I actually broke my arm. I was playing. I was playing just like pickup baseball with some guys, and I fractured my wrist, so I had a huge cast. And a week before we started shooting, and I had to call Rick and be like, "Yo, I broke my arm, like, and I have a huge cast." And he was like, "Oh my God, there's always somebody in high school with a cast. That's perfect." So he got really excited, and Rick and I kind of bonded over that. We kind of kept in touch, and then when this came around, the it was definitely not a shoe-in. It was a very, very intense audition process for all of us. I mean, Rick, this is Rick's baby. He's been developing for a really long time, and so he cast it with care. I think it was quite a gauntlet he put all of us through to be a part of this gang.
It's surreal. It's crazy. I still think I'm gonna like wake up and my mom's gonna tell me it's time for school. But no, I was a big fan of Rick, even like not realizing it. Like when I first moved out to LA, I would go to like the Blockbuster and kind of like walk through the aisles, and I'd picked up like Bad News Bears and like me and Orson Welles and stuff. And once Boyhood came along, I watched that, and after I watched that, the audition came in, and I was like, oh man, this is a lottery. It's a shot in the dark, but it's gonna be fun. Like, how cool would this be?
Yeah.
And you go in, and I remember meeting him, and I was like, hey, dude, my friends and my lady will kill me, but Boyhood was awesome. And then I closed the door, and I'm like, oh, stupid, stupid, stupid. But I was a big fan, man. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first self tape because I was out of town, and my first tape I put on, I was like, this is gonna be one of those that just goes a very well known like abyss of auditions that you never hear about. I was like, no way. And then I flew out to Austin to read with this fine gentleman, and it's surreal.
You auditioned in Austin?
Yeah, we went to lunch, and then he drove me to my audition.
No way.
Isn't that
I
crazy?
swear. And then I had to fly home that night and shoot. I mean, fly to Boston and shoot. Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah. I
I
also.
wish we
we're
got some.
learning
We didn't get no lunch, man.
Yeah.
No. Man, I went hungry tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway,
No.
now I'm feeling a little.
I
think I'm gonna
So I
have
just-
some
Well,
words with
you
Rick
had a
after
leg
this.
up. You knew Rick. I didn't know you knew Rick.
Look, I mean, though, like Rick and I, like this is the thing. I was like a kid, and it's not like Rick and I kicked it, and he obviously never treated me to lunch. But like Rick and I, like we emailed back and forth every once in a while. Yeah, because we're both you're Texans in Texas film, so.
Some people remember certain parts of their lives pretty well. Like me, I'll always be like, "Oh, when I was five, this, that, this, and that." That's like
It was a good
that's
year
my
for
year.
Brett
That was a
Jenner,
big year in my
5 years
life.
old.
You
But
peaked at 5.
yeah, totally. It was all downhill from 5 years old. But he's got everything stored. It seems like every checkpoint in his life,
I think
that
he
really
has
meant
I
something
think that's
to
one
him.
of his greatest assets is his memory because he has a he can remember everything
Yeah.
to the point it's a little bit scary because then you're like, oh shit, he's gonna.
Yeah, no,
I better not like slip up. He's gonna remember
Totally.
this moment
And he
forever.
can't be like, oh, he doesn't care. He won't.
Other
He
people
doesn't.
forget, not
Oh,
Rick.
no.
And so we were actually talking about that with some of his baseball team because they're all here see the movie, and he was talking about with a lot of these guys. He's like, man, he's just drunks. He's like, it's a slosh of what he said called
Oh
a
yeah.
slosh.
No, you called it a slosh.
It was a slosh of memories. He's like, you just missed 10 years, and he remembers every single. Like I said, he'll remember the day
Oh.
to the
it's-
day of something that happened, which I've never seen anybody be able to do. I'll be like, I think it was like, I don't know, one
What-
of these few years.
And when you're shooting, you can see him. I can swear that I saw him like editing the film in his mind. And at one point, I remember I asked him some question about something we shot a week ago, and he remembered like which take it was that I like moved my arm. I was like, oh, what? How do you remember that?
The hazing. It's not as I feel like in Dazed it was very
Yeah.
like the No More Mr. Nice Guy
It was
scene.
bad
It was-
intentioned. This
Yeah, yeah,
movie's
yeah.
not bad
This
intentioned.
is all in good fun. So I think
Yeah.
they can expect that, like hazing, but from a different like perspective, just like wanting the best for each, like wanting the freshmen to be men and like teasing them into growing up, kind of thing. So like,
Your guys'
Rite of Passage
car
stuff
scene
is
is
fun.
legendary. I think
Oh,
that
Rapper's
people-
Delight?
I
Oh,
think,
yeah.
I think that's actually like it's an iconic scene, and people are gonna love that shit.
We
Oh,
Rick, do
It's-
you know how
I
long
know
Rapper's
from
Delight is? What is Rapper's Delight? 14 minutes? How long is it? 13 minutes. It is so many words, it's ridiculous. Rick's like, all right, just memorize the whole song, and then we'll just figure out what you guys are. I was like, are you like that? I got like 5 minutes into it, 5, 6
yeah,
minutes
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. You could always tell when they started to forget. Like, us freshmen,
Yeah.
me and
It was
Temple,
right around
we
that
didn't have
Superman
to know.
line.
We could play the fact that we were kind of shy, but they were like going at, and you can always
I
tell when they were
did.
starting to forget, because then they're like,
Yeah.
oh, Baba Deutch,
Yeah.
Connie,
Lois Clark, a Superman. Yeah. You remember just like the last word of the whole run. Yeah. Anyway, but that was one of the most fun scenes to film. We literally rapped. It was like 2 days straight.
Were you guys able to, were you listening to it too, or did you have to do it silent for sound?
No, we were listening to it.
Did they never turn it down, and you guys had to go a cappella, or we played?
No.
Did you have to ADR the whole time?
Yeah, no, we were playing music the whole time.
You didn't have to ADR it?
What?
You didn't have to
No.
ADR? Oh, that's cool.
No.
I wish we
Movie
did
magic. I don't know. Rick knows what he's doing. He figured it out. It sounds good.
Do you have any other favorite scenes that you're excited for people to see?
I mean, the disco stuff, I had such a good time shooting because that was like, Rick was really big on authenticity in the dance moves. So we did all dance rehearsal for a long time beforehand. And so, a lot of us started off with no coordination. I mean, this guy is known to dance. Like, he started off.
You should have seen him last night at the premiere party.
Yeah, he tore this thing up.
Yeah,
you saw it.
I broke out the worm.
Yeah.
You camera behind the camera, people watching this, you should have seen him dancing last night. That was amazing.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I had to keep my mom away. She was.
It's like,
She's like, oh, I knew a man like you in 1980. I'm like, what? No. I think this is an international movie. I think it's a movie that translates to a lot of people.
It's fun. I mean, I just think it's an extremely fun experience. And who doesn't like fun?
Yeah. It's one that,
especially when you say it like that.
I think it's one that everybody can relate to it, and you don't have to have, be in school or anything to have this experience. You always know when, like, you're around a group of people or something, you're having a new kind of thing, you're feeling everybody out. Everybody knows what it's like to have fun with your friends. So I feel like that's why it'll.
I think that one scene in the punk rock club, it kind of sums it all up.
Yeah.
Is like when you say I'm having an identity crisis here.
Yeah.
It kind of sums up, I think, how a lot of people feel in life, where you're just experimenting, trying to figure out who you are and what you believe. And I think that's what this movie is.